Guys, it's Reagan and welcome back to another video. Today's video I'm so excited about because I'm going to be chatting through my cozy fall favorites. I love the fall season, it's no secret, and I love to make these compilation videos where I get to talk about some of my recent fall purchases I'm truly obsessed with, from home decor to clothes. I'm also going to be talking about my current cozy gaming TBR for the season and the cozy games I'm currently playing and loving, and then naturally we're also going to be chatting books, television shows that slot right in to the cozy fall season. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right in. Starting with probably my favorite category, and that is cozy games. I have been curating this cozy game playing list all year. I have been wanting to play these games for so long, purposely saved them because they're just too perfect for the fall season, plus also one is coming out this month. I've been on the edge of my seat to give it a try. The first cozy game I'm going to chat about is a cozy game I'm currently playing, and that is Luigis Mansion 3. Our favorite anxious hero is back in his third titled game, and this time we find Luigi stuck in a haunted hotel. That's right, Luigi and friends have traveled to what appear to be a very lovely hotel, only to have all of his friends trapped in this haunted place, and now it's up to Luigi to go floor by floor by floor to take on various ghosts and bosses to get his friends back. This time around he's joined by a very adorable little ghosty dog companion, and he also has upgrades to his vacuum cleaner ghost weapon, which is truly amazing. This game really combines elements of puzzles and problem solving with a little bit of action. It's the right level of engaging, challenging, but still straightforward enough. I'm currently in the midst of playing this, and it honestly is such a vibe. The little spooky hotel is so cute, and I just truly adore Luigi so much, and I've been having a blast with this third installment. And it also has pick up and put down couch co-op as well, so you can play solo, but if you have a friend over and they want to join in, they easily can do so, which is so much fun. I love pick up, put down couch co-op so much. Next game that's on my must-play list this fall is Missfortune. This is a truly beloved game, and the animation and art style of this game is so cool. It's very weird and strange and quirky. It reminds me of Over the Garden Wall quite a bit, so it leans into that childhood nostalgia, but it kind of has an edge to it that I feel like is going to work so well within this game. The synopsis of this game is also quite strange. We're following our main character, who's a little girl who's being led by her new best friend called Mr. Voice. It's an interactive story focused on exploration, and it's full of characters both sweet and dark. And our main character begins to follow this Mr. Voice because she's hoping to find the prize of eternal happiness, which she can then give to her mom. I've heard nothing but fantastic things about this game, and again, it really gives me mid-2000s Cartoon Network vibes in all of the best ways. Just the style of this really calls out to me, and I'm very much in my narrative game situation right now. Loving it so much. The next fall cozy game I have to talk about is Beacon Pines. I've almost beaten this game, and it's truly the perfect fall game. I'm obsessed. This is a storybook inspired narrative adventure game following the cutest cast of characters. This is a perfect example of a game that really balances wholesome, cozy narrative stories that will really pull at your heartstrings with a spooky mystery that you're trying to uncover with your main characters throughout the game. As I said, this is a narrative style game structured like a book, meaning you're progressing through the story, having to make various decisions, but not every decision is going to be the right one, resulting in a wrong turn or a very spooky, scary end, making you, the player and the reader, have to go back in time to pick another selection, basically branching us off in a different direction of the story. This is just such a creative structure, and it had me hooked on the edge of my seat. The voice acting and the writing of this game is also amazing, and the small town setting of Beacon Pines is not just eerie, but it definitely has that fall vibes to it that just works so well. I adore this game. The last game I'm gonna mention for my cozy fall gaming TBR, if you will, is The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, which comes out at the end of September. I cannot wait for this game. I basically played every single Zelda release since Ocarina of Time, and I truly am thrilled to finally have the opportunity to play as Zelda as the main character of her own adventure. It's truly about time. The animation style of this game is adorable, and I love that it's kind of leaning into that art style from Link's Awakening, which is another game that I really enjoyed. But in this game, we play as Zelda as she works to save her kingdom. We not only explore, take on various enemies, but we also have to solve puzzles and also create and interact with the environment around us to move through the game itself. Again, I love Zelda games so much, and I truly am so thrilled to pick this up at the end of the month. I am counting down the days. Alrighty, moving on now to our next category. I'm gonna do a little bit of a homeware haul if you will. I love fall decor so much, and every single year I pick up a few new things to add to my collection, and this year is no different. First things first, I have a couple of like kitchen items I've been loving lately. First is this little mini pumpkin Le Creuset. My mom actually got this for me, and initially I was like, I wonder what I'm gonna do with this, but I bake in this all the time. I'm a big solo desserts kind of girl, and I basically can bake all the best solo desserts ever within this. I can bake it in my mini oven, my regular oven. It's so cute, and there's just something so special about eating out of a mini pumpkin, you know? I also got myself one fall focused plate. I have this out as decor in my kitchen, but I also often will have like a tasty treat on this too. There's just something fun about having a seasonal plate at your disposal to eat on. This is a scalloped anthropology plate with a mushroom. There's actually like a whole set of these. I would love to have all of them, but I opted to just pick up one and try to be a little bit practical. Maybe next year I'll buy another, and slowly I'll build up my collection. But I went with this orange one, but I love them all. I really cannot understate that. And I also love that the mushroom is more like giving like traditional encyclopedia core. You know what I mean? Like nature journal mushroom drawing, you know? I also picked up a new mug. I basically get myself at least one new mug a year. I just can't help myself. This time I went with more of a Halloween leaning mug with this little ghosty guy. I love that it kind of has multiple different textures going on the pottery itself. I just think it's so special. There's actually a bowl in this pattern. I wish I picked it up, but it's sold out. But at least I was able to score the mug, and this is so cute. I drink tea out of this on a regular basis. And my final piece of like kitchen glassware related things is this cup. These Anthropologie cups I adore. They bring me more joy than they should. Another situation where they have released a full line of Halloween inspired glasses, but I decided to keep myself to just one and be reasonable, and I got this purple like moon one. I think it's so cute and so witchy, and it makes my iced coffees just a little bit extra special during this fall season, you know? Next up, I have to give another shout out to Gus Gus. I featured this last year. I've had this pillow now for 3 years, and it continues to be my most favorite fall decoration. I get so much joy every time I get to bring Gus Gus out of his little container and I see him once again. He's adorable. He's holding his little pumpkin. Matilda sleeps on him. It just creates the best fall tableau I could ever ask for. There's multiple versions of him now. This is the OG, but we've got more than one. Well, I don't have more than one, but more than one exists. Next, I bought these ceramic checkered pumpkins. I just thought these were really pretty. I liked that they were glass, and I got them specifically to put on my mantle where they have been living. I also really like that they have these holes on the bottom because I'm able to put electric LED, like automatic fake candles. So they add like the most beautiful flickering glow, and I love to like just see them, especially in the evening. And the last thing I'm going to mention is honestly just like the smallest but just best holiday hack for decor, and that are these like fake battery operated candles. I love these things. I just have them on a 5-hour timer, and every 24 hours they turn on at the perfect time. They light up, the light moves back and forth. The candle itself even has like a waxy material, and these things are just truly the best and much safer than just lighting like a bunch of candles around your house. And I have been buying these up left, right, and center. I love just having them on. I feel like I'm running my own seance. Just truly give the best vibes, especially when you put like a little something over them. I mean, look at this. Stunning. Ready from there, let's go ahead and move on to some cozy fall books that I'm hoping to read over the course of the season. I obviously have a full fall TBR video. I set aside 3 more cozy leaning books that I feel like kind of better match the vibes of this video. The first is The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. I love reading a lighthearted, cozy, like fantasy story during the fall season, especially during my darker, more intense fantasy reads. These prove to be the best palette cleansers. This one in particular just sounds absolutely delightful, and I've only heard good things about it. And this follows our main character Kayla, and she's always struggled with interacting with other people, but luckily for her, as she's been working as a librarian for most of her adult life, she hasn't really had to do so. Unfortunately, at the beginning of the story, revolution rocks the large city that she was working in, and fires kind of came to the doorstep of this great library. From there, she basically was forced to flee her town, taking with her as many of these precious books that she's able to carry, and travels back to her hometown, which is actually actually on this like small island. There, she basically sets up shop once again with her books, and she's not quite sure what to do with her time, but she obviously knows that she needs employment. She notices that there's actually like a market opportunity within this town because there's a bakery and baked goods, but there's no jam. So she begins to make jam. And also she has to deal with her pesky neighbor who's constantly in her business. He's handsome and annoying. What in the world is she going to do about that? This just sounds cozy and charming and cute with a little bit of romance. I want to read this so badly. The next book that is on my list is The Lost Story by Meg Schaefer. Meg Schaefer is an author that definitely incorporates some emotional, heartwarming elements to her pretty clever like fantasy storylines too. This is a book that takes inspiration on a lot of well-known fairy tales that I read growing up, from Peter Pan to the Chronicles of Narnia, and kind of takes a spin on a lot of those concepts, creating an all-new fairy tale. And this follows two of our main characters, Jeremy and Raffi, who at the age of 15 mysteriously went missing within a remote area of the West Virginia forest for 6 months, only to miraculously appear later on with no memory of what occurred. Now, 15 years later, Raffi is a reclusive artist, and Jeremy works as like a very well-known missing person expert. And while Raffi doesn't remember, Jeremy does, and he recalls that the boys were actually lost in an entirely different magical realm full of impossible things and immense danger. Fast forward again, Jeremy is approached by our other main character, Emily, because her younger sister has seemingly gone missing in the exact same spot as Jeremy and Raffi, and she's seeking their help to find her once again. I am really curious about this. I've enjoyed this author's writing style in the past, and again, I just love the fairy tale references that this has. It just feels like it's going to be really captivating, maybe a bit dark, but because of the familiar structures of the story, a little bit cozy as well. And the last book I'm going to show off in the book section is The Cautious Traveler's Guide to the Wastelands by Sarah Brooks. This is a train murder mystery story. And if you're not enjoying a whodunit style book during the fall season, what are you doing? But this book is set kind of in like a fantastical version of our world, and there's this place called the Wastelands, which is full of immense danger, magical creatures, and the only way to cross the Wastelands is via this one particular train. This train, though, is very luxurious, very expensive, because with danger comes curiosity, and a bunch of rich folks basically want to travel the Wasteland and see what's out there. Our main character has worked on this train basically her entire life, and the previous expedition, something sort of went wrong, and now a new train is about to start and a mysterious stowaway enters the train. And I think just like magic, adventure, and mystery begins to ensue from there. I love closed door mysteries, particularly ones on trains. I also just love trains. I want to read this. Alrighty, moving on to another very exciting category, and that is some fall clothing items I've picked up. It's no secret I love a sweater, and there's no better time to dress than the fall season. It might be still kind of toasty outside where I live, but a lot of these items are going to carry me through for a very long time because it doesn't really get that cold here. So like fall sweaters can also be December sweaters and February sweaters. You get the idea. First thing I picked up was a little bit of a splurge. TikTok definitely got me with this one, but I bought myself a new Coach bag for the fall season. This is the Brooklyn 28 bag that is everywhere right now. I think like Bella Hadid is even carrying it. I went with the smaller size in the suede because I just thought it'd be so versatile. I also love suede, like even with what I'm wearing now. Like, look how cute. It's a perfect everyday bag. And I also just love that Coach is back and better than ever. But I did splurge and treat myself to this, but I feel like I'm gonna be wearing this every day. So, worth the splurge. Next up, I bought a few sweaters slash sweatshirts. The first one is this very seasonally appropriate fall sweatshirt. I showed this off in a reading vlog recently, and I am obsessed. I bought this off of a small business. I'll have it linked down below, but it's so soft. I went with an extra large for a more oversized look, but she has such great fall designs for t-shirts and sweatshirts. And it's honestly just like been a fantastic purchase. I love it. And then I am going to Vermont in October, so I decided to finally treat myself to a sweater I've been eyeing for literally years. It's this KGP sweater, the fall leaf sweater to be exact. I mean, look at this. Imagine me at an apple orchard wearing this sweater. I know. It's perfect. I couldn't be more excited to have this in my wardrobe. I already know I'm going to be wearing it all of the time. And in particular, this is going to hit so hard in Vermont. Last sweater I'm going to show off I've picked up recently is this brown cable knit cardigan. I have been eyeing this since last year as well. I did get this from a Cezanne credit that was gifted to me, so I do want to be transparent about that. But the quality of this is incredible. Tortoise shell buttons all the way through. It's heavy. And because it's more cottony, I want to say, it's not itchy at all. And then the last clothing item I picked up was this plaid skirt from Anthropologie. I mean, come on. Again, with this sweater I'm wearing and my new suede bag, I mean, it's an absolute knockout. I really like plaid skirts, but I am someone who prefers kind of a longer cut of skirt. So I have been looking season after season for something that had a little bit more length for plaid versus like a mini skirt. And I saw this on the Anthropologie website and I pounced and I bought it and I love it. 10 out of 10. And the last categories I'm going to be featuring is fall movies and television shows, or just like my general watch plan for this upcoming season. First and foremost, I definitely want to revisit some of my favorite romantic comedies. I haven't really been in a romantic comedy like mindset. I've watched some new release ones, but honestly, every time I watch a new release, it just makes me nostalgic and also want to watch ones from like the 90s. Obviously, I have to talk about When Harry Met Sally. I love this movie. Like everything about it, the character interactions, the fashion, the location within New York City, obviously the time of year and how that plays into all of the scenes. It literally transports me. I feel like I can feel the weather. I love the humor. I love Meg Ryan. I love this director's movie so much, and I think this one of hers is my favorite of them all, and so I definitely want to rewatch this season. It's been a year since last fall since I've watched it, so it's definitely time. And then another thing, Clay and I are back into watching this fall season, and a show we've been saving for this fall season is Only Murders in the Building. I love this show. Obviously, as we've already established, I love a whodunit style story, and this TV show captures kind of the humor, campy vibe of what a whodunit story can be, while having like a compelling, heart-wrenching mystery at the core. I've seen season 1 and loved it. I need to watch season 2, and season 3 just came out, so it's also like the perfect setup and opportunity to do a little binge watching, if you know what I mean. Again, this show is also set in fall in New York. There's no better place, no better season, in my opinion. I love it. I also love the setup. I love the humor, the camaraderie. Just everything about this show is truly delightful, and I'm just so happy it exists. And then the last two shows on my list are reality TV. If you know anything about me, you know I love reality TV so much. It's anthropological. One of the shows I'm going to chat about that I'm currently watching and still watching and rewatching is very fall core. The other is just wild and topical, nothing to do with fall, but very, very, very juicy. First up, we have The Traitors. If you have not watched The Traitors, America, UK, Australia, any of them, you're missing out. It's basically the game of Mafia inside of this like Scottish castle where a few people are selected to be murderers and everyone else is just trying to survive day by day, but also figure out who the murderers are. It's so compelling and fun, and again, kind of campy and rompy. The US version in particular, the host is Alan Cummings, and the fashion, literally it has like the ambiance of a chilly Scottish manor in the fall season with like really great humor and intrigue that sort of matches the vibe of like a murder mystery, if you will. It also leans into the stylization and concept of the show so successfully. Honestly, all of the versions of the show are amazing, and I've sort of just been working my way through all of the seasons I can get my hands on because I love them. And honestly, I might even like the UK version the most, but they're all good. I just love The Traitors so much. It's also just like a fun competition show, and I've been on the edge of my seat every single season. The last piece of media I'm going to chat about is not fall oriented at all, but it is wild, and that is The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I can't be the only one watching this show. I wasn't even planning to watch this show, but I got too many text messages from friends being like, what is this? So I decided to put it on. And the thing about this show is that it barely makes sense. It's basically following this like friend group of Mormon wives who are also all social media influencers and part of this thing called Mom Talk, and they've been rocked with so many various like online internet scandals, and this is supposed to document their friendship and the falling out of so many things. The thing about this show is that it's a hot mess. It's hard to decipher like who's the main character of the show is going to be. It was filmed over like 2 years, so like so many things are happening from episode to episode to episode, but even in its like incoherence, you can't stop watching. It's so bad that it's amazing at the same time, and it's just like the biggest mess I've witnessed on my television screen in a while. And if you find comfort and coziness in reality TV like me, this is definitely worth checking out because it is so bananas. Like, I couldn't have even anticipated how wild this show is, you know? Alrighty guys, those are my cozy fall favorites. Please let me know down below some books, TV shows, games that you plan to enjoy or have enjoyed during the fall season, and as I would love to know, and I will see you guys soon with another video soon. Goodbye!